Hi everyone, we are going to start with the power system analysis 2. It majorly deals with the load flow analysis. The load in the sense we know it's a power flow we are going to calculate. So how much the real power, reactive power will flow from the sending end side to the receiving end side. Is there any transmission losses and what will be the bus voltages and the load angles at each bus. So all these information we will be studying in this particular subject. So before going to see the load flow studies actual concept, so we need to understand some of the basics which are required to understand the load flow studies. So let us see what are the things that we are going to study in this particular session. So in this session we are going to see what is meant by a network and what is meant by a node, network topology, graph, oriented graph, tree and code tree. So these are some of the basic definitions that every student should know before going to start with the actual load flow studies. What is a network? So we know a network is an interconnection of various elements. So that elements may be active elements or the passive elements. We know active elements are nothing but sources. It may be voltage source or the current source. Passive elements you can say RLC elements, you can call it as a passive elements. Okay. As I mentioned, the interconnection of the various elements, we have taken the active sources as a voltage source and current source, and you can see here the passive elements RLC are also connected in the circuit. So this is the example for a network connectivity. Then what is meant by a node? A common point at which two or more branches meet together. Same network if you take. So the common point at which two or more branches meet together will be called as a node. So node can also be defined as wherever the current will have a different paths to flow. Now let us see where and all we can consider the node for this particular network. So here we have these two branches are meeting together. So this point can be considered as a one node, and you can see here also we have three branches connected together. So R3, R4 and C connected together. So this point also can be treated as a one node. And if you come to here, the R4 and L2 and L1, the current source, all these branches connected this point. So you can take this also as a node. So similarly, if you look at here, the R2 and the current source both are connected. So this can be a node and this can be a node. So finally, this will be called as a reference node. So then what is meant by a network topology? The geometrical interconnection of the various branches of a network is called the topology of the network. Geometrical interconnection means, so we will just look for the geometrical appearance of the network and we are least bother for the elements which are present in that particular network. It can be a resistor, it can be an inductor, or it can be a capacitor or combination of any RLC elements. Our main interest will be only on the geometrical representation of the network. If we take the same network here, so now what is meant by the geometrical structure? What is the meaning of this? Means you will just look for how many number of nodes are present in this particular network and how many branches are present in this network. So that means, as we said, we have first node, second node, third node, fourth node and fifth node, and we have one reference node here. So totally we have 6 nodes including the reference node, and if you look at the branches, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 branches. So this I am considering it as a single branch because it is in series with each other. So I can consider it as a 1. So totally we have 7 branches. So we have 5 nodes and 7 branches. So this information we need from the network whenever we are working with the network topology. Now coming to the graph. Now how to represent a given network in terms of the graph? So why we are converting the given network into the graph? We are going to represent this network in terms of the matrix notation. So for that we are following the graph method. Complexity of the network will reduce if you use the graph theory. Now, what are the points that we need to remember whenever we are representing a network into the graph? Means basically we will look for the geometrical structure and we are not interested in the elements present in the network. But still, we need to have a small observation whenever we are converting the network into the graph. That is, ideal voltage sources will be replaced by short circuit and the ideal current sources will be replaced by the open circuit whenever we convert the network into the graph. So in this figure, if you see, we have an ideal current source. So since the current source is ideal current source, this will be replaced by open circuit whenever you represent this network into the graph. Now let us see what are the steps that we need to remember to represent the graph. So the first step is we need to keep all these nodes as it is in the graph also. So let us mark first node, second, third, fourth node, fifth node and a reference node. So then you have to check line by line whether is there any line or the branch connected between any two nodes or a pair of nodes. So you can see, is there any connection between the first node and the reference node? Yes, we have. Okay, so we have a voltage source which is connected in series with the R1. So there is a branch connected between the first node and the reference node. So you just put a tick mark if there is a line exists between respective nodes. So now we have one line. So you don't bother what is there inside the line. Okay, so you no need to check. You just check is there any connection between the first node and the zero node. Yes, we have. If there is a connection, just you need to join the first node and the zero node by a line. So like this, I have connected, which represent that this line I have connected here. Now let us complete all the branches with respect to the first node alone. Okay, so here I am just looking for with respect to only first node how many lines are connected and from which node to which node those lines connected. Now again from 1 to 2 we have a resistor R3 is connected. Okay, so it doesn't mind which element is there inside the branch. So we have a connection between the first node and second node. So in the graph, we are going to draw a line between the 1 and 2. So now we can draw a line between 1 and 2. Again, you come back to the network and see, is there any connection between the first node to fourth node? Yes, we have a connection between the first node to fourth node. So now I am making a connection between 1 to 4. So I hope these are only the connections that are directly connected to the first node. Second node also we will check one by one. So this is already connected, which is having the line connected between the second node and the first node we have considered already. And we have to consider a line which is connected between the second node to the reference node 0. Okay, so now we are going to connect that 2 to 0. Now the next one is we have a connection between second node to third node. So now we are going to represent a connection between 2 and 3. So now we have finished the second node also. Now we need to go for the third node. Now if you see, we have already connected a 3 to 2. Now we have to look for 3 to 0. So we have a connection 3 to 0. So now we can join the node 3 and node 0 by a line. Now coming to the another connection, we have a line connected between the third node to the fifth node. So now that also we can connect. Now the next one is 4 to 5. 4 to 5 or 5 to 4 we have a connection. So directly you can represent a line between the 4 and 5. In the same way, we have a connection between the node 4 and node 5, which is an ideal current source, and we know always the ideal current source will be represented by an open circuit. So with that point, I have represented the current source by open circuit. This is the graph which represents my given network. Now coming to the graph is there any simplification or any little bit of modification can I do in the representation of the graph means? Yes, of course, because we have an open circuit line here which is not required at all. Okay, if it is an open circuit, we no need to consider any lines which are connected as an open circuit in the graph. So you can eliminate this line. So I have removed that line. And coming to here, whenever we remove this branch, we no need to represent these nodes. Okay, so node tells that there is a different path for the current flow. Whenever we remove this open circuit line, so then here there is no path for the current flow. So whatever current it is entering, it is having only one path like this. So we no need of representing these two nodes. So you can eliminate these two nodes. So now let us remove those two nodes also. Now this is how graph looks like. If there is a node, then we have to take this kind of shape. Otherwise you can just connect a loop between the 1 and 3. We can just replace and connect it back like this. Okay, so for the smooth finishing of the graph, just I have given the curve like this, which is connected between the 1 and 3. So this is the final graph representation for the given network. Now coming to the next point, oriented graph. What is meant by oriented graph? A graph which is having a specific directions will be called as a directed graph or the oriented graph. Orientation means direction. So now let us take the same graph. So here we have a nodes starting from 0 to 3. And if each branch of the graph, okay, you can say here, whatever the lines that I am going to represent, okay, this is the first transmission line. And this is the second transmission line, third transmission line, 4, 5 and the 6th. Okay, here the branches or the transmission lines will be called as an elements. So that means if each and every element will have a specific direction, you can see here the second transmission line I have given the orientation or the direction which is away from the second node and which is towards the reference node. So like that each transmission line will have a particular direction or the orientation which tells that how the power is flowing, from which side to which side the power or the current flow is there. So now let us see the orientations or the directions given for the other transmission lines also. So now you can say this is the first transmission line direction, second already we have taken, and this is the fourth transmission line, fifth transmission line direction, sixth as well as for the third transmission line direction. So these are the certain directions that we have considered. If any graph represented with a specific direction of the power flow, then you can say that as a oriented graph. Now coming to the tree. As I told you, we are trying to get the matrix notation or the representation of the network using the graph theory. So that is why first we have learned how to represent the given network into the graph. Then we are going to take the two concepts. One is a tree and the code tree representation. First let us see what is meant by a tree. Tree is a set of branches with all nodes not forming any loop or the closed path. Means the tree of any graph contains all the nodes which are present in the graph, but there won't be any closed paths in the tree. How many nodes are present in the graph? Those many nodes will be present in the tree also, but you should not form any closed path while constructing the tree. That is the first point that we need to remember while forming the tree from the given graph. Now, what are the properties that we need to look for whenever we are forming the tree? So, the first thing is, it contains all the nodes on the graph. It is there in the definition line itself. And second point also it is there already. That is, it shouldn't have any closed path. And coming to the next point, there exists only one path between any pair of nodes. In a tree, there exists only one path between any pair of nodes. Try to understand this point. Suppose, let me take first node and the second node. Okay, two nodes. So, I am considering any pair of nodes. I have taken one pair of nodes, that is node 1 and node 2. While forming the node, you should take one and only one line which is connected between the 1 and 2. Okay, so we have to consider only one transmission line which is connected between the 1 and 2, and we are not supposed to take more than one between a pair of nodes. So what will happen if you consider more than a line between the two nodes means it will form a closed path. Okay, so whatever the direction it is, it should not have a closed path like this. So at any point we can connect only one path between any pair of nodes. That is the next point that we need to consider while forming the tree. Then every connected graph has at least one tree. Okay, from any given network, if you form a graph, from that graph at least minimum to minimum we will have one tree. Okay, then how many branches each tree will have? So how can we check whether we have taken a correct number of or the correct way of tree, or whether we have left any branches in the graph like which we have not considered into the tree formation? How to check that means each and every tree will have n minus 1 branches. Okay, here n represents the number of nodes. Okay, how many number of nodes are present in the graph? For example, if you take n value is equal to 4, that means graph will have 4 nodes. Coming to the tree, so whatever tree that we are going to form, that also will have a 4 nodes, but how many branches it will have means n minus 1, that means it will have a 3 branches. Okay, so for a 4 node graph we will have only 3 branches for each tree. So like that you can verify how many branches each tree will have. So whether you have considered all the required branches or not, like that we can cross check with these points. The branches of the tree will be called as a twigs. Now how many number of possible trees that we will get from each graph? Okay, so the number of possible trees of a complete graph with n number of nodes will be equal to n power n minus 2. For example, if our graph is having 4 nodes, then total number of possible trees for that graph will be equal to 4 power 4 minus 2, which is equal to 16 possible trees we can form. Now let us see how to form the trees for a given graph. So as I told you, the number of trees present in any graph will be equal to n power n minus 1. So where n is the number of nodes. In this problem, we know the number of nodes present here is equal to 4 nodes. So therefore, the number of possible trees for this given graph will be equal to 4 power 4 minus 2, that will be equal to 4 square. So here this value is equal to 4 square, which is equal to 16 possible trees we will get. First I will explain you how to represent the tree from the given graph. Then we will see all 16 possible combinations for this given graph. Now as I told you, the first point that we need to remember while forming the tree, the number of nodes present in the tree will be equal to the number of nodes present in the graph. So blindly we can keep how many number of nodes are there in the graph, those many number of nodes for the tree also. And the number of branches will be equal to n minus 1. Okay, each tree will have the number of branches which are called as a twigs will be equal to n minus 1. So where n is the 4, that means each tree will have 3 branches in it, and which will not form a closed path. So now let us see the first tree I am going to form. I am going to consider the branches 1, 2 and 3. So that's it. We have taken all the 3 branches. So we are not allowed to take more than 3. So and we don't have any closed loop also here. This refers to one possible tree for this graph. So now how can we represent? The tree is nothing but a subset of the given graph. That means first tree I can represent T1 is equal to 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it is having the branches 1, 2, 3. That means the transmission lines 1, 2, 3. Similarly, let us see some more possible trees for this particular graph. Again I have considered all the 4 nodes. Now this time I am going to take the second transmission line, fourth and fifth transmission line. So this is one of the possible tree for the same graph. Now the T2, this can be represented as a T2. So which will have the transmission lines 2, 4 and 5. Next, second, fourth element, and I can take sixth element. So this also is having 3 branches which is not having any closed path in this. Now the tree number 3, T3 will be equal to 2, 4 and 6. Similarly, we can take one more tree which is having the first transmission line, third, and you can say the fifth transmission line. So like this you can form 16 possible combinations of the tree for this given graph like this. Now finally the fourth tree represents the lines 1, 3 and 5. Now let us see for the same given graph how we can represent all 16 possible trees for this particular graph. Let us have a look. So I have taken this graph. Now I am going to form all the 16 possible combinations for that. So this is the first one, second possible tree, third possible tree, fourth. So if you observe in a similar pattern, we will get a pair of trees. So 4, and you can see nowhere we are repeating the trees. So you can see I have given all 16 possible combinations for the given graph. So like that we can for any given graph without forming any closed path, and by considering the number of twigs of the tree will be equal to n-1, and the number of nodes present in the tree will be equal to number of nodes present in the graph. This is how you can represent the tree for any given graph. And coming to the core tree, the core tree refers to the complement of the tree. So what is meant by the complement of the tree? The set of the branches forming a complement of the tree will be called as a core tree. Now, however you call the branches of the tree as a twigs, the branches of the core tree will be called as a links. Okay, that will be represented by L, and always the links will be represented by a dotted line and the twigs will be represented by a solid line. The number of branches of the core tree can be calculated by using the formula L is equal to B minus of n minus 1. If you see here, n minus 1 represents the number of tree branches, so which are nothing but twigs. Now the number of links is equal to number of branches. Here the number of branches are nothing but total number of branches present in the graph. Okay, so it is nothing but B minus n minus 1 is nothing but the tree branches. Okay, to understand this logic, let us take a simple graph. Here n minus 1 represents the branches which we have selected to form the tree. So for example, let us take, I am taking the branches 1, 2 and 3 as a tree branches. I am forming the tree by taking the branches 1, 2, 3, and the remaining transmission lines or the remaining branches which we have not considered for the tree will be called as a links. Those links can be represented by dotted lines. Okay, these 4 and 5 can be called as a links. The number of branches present in the graph will be equal to branches of the tree plus the branches of the core tree. So the branches of the tree will be equal to n minus 1 and the branches of the core tree will be called as a L. So therefore the total number of branches present in the graph B will be equal to L plus n minus 1. That means these are the branches of the core tree and these are the branches of the tree will be equal to the total number of branches present in the graph. That means I am going to subdivide my graph into tree plus core tree. So now this formula is very important. Sometimes they will ask you how many number of equations that we can form for a particular graph. Means the number of equations will be equal to the number of links. Why? Because these links will form the loops. It will create the closed loop in the graph. So therefore, the number of links L will be equal to number of branches minus n minus 1, which is equal to b minus n plus 1, where b is the total number of branches in the graph, n is the number of nodes, and L is the number of links present in the graph. So now let us understand this concept in a better way. If you take the graph, these are the sum of the possible trees that we can construct for the given graph. Now what are the links here is, except these branches, okay, I have taken 1, 2, 3 for this graph. The remaining lines are 4, 5, 6. These 4, 5, 6 will be called as a chord tree. I am going to represent those lines by a dotted line. So let us consider this is the 4th line and 5th line and the 6th transmission line. So coming to the second tree, and we have a first. So except 2, 4, 5, the remaining transmission lines are 1, 3 and 6 for this. 1, 3 and 6. And similarly, if you consider the tree branches as a 2, 4, 6, and the chord tree will be 1, 3 and 5. Similarly, if I consider my tree branches as a 1, 3, 5, and my chord tree branches will be equal to 2, 4 and 6. So now if you remove this tree, whatever I have represented with the dotted lines will form the chord tree. So totally you can see it is like if you combined both the tree plus chord tree, which will be equal to our original graph. So thereby I have given the tree plus chord tree will be equal to graph. So now let us remove the trees from this, because we are trying to represent the chord trees. So now these are the corresponding chord trees. So total number of links of the first chord tree will be equal to 4, 5, 6, and L2 will be 1, 3, 6. Similarly, you can say L3 will be equal to 1, 3, 5 and L4 will be equal to 2, 4, 6. I hope it is clear. The chord tree is nothing but it is a complement of the tree. So the branches of the chord tree will be equal to the total number of branches of the graph minus number of twigs. Number of twigs are nothing but those are the branches of the tree will be equal to the branches of the chord tree. So that is represented by L. So tree branches plus the chord tree branches will give the total number of branches present in the graph. So I hope it is clear what is meant by a network, node, network topology, tree and the chord tree concepts.